'Tis the season to be a staggy. After a fairly successful November, Mansfield Town head into December full of festive hope of what's to come, starting with an FA Cup second round trip to League One strugglers Doncaster Rovers on Saturday. Nigel Clough has his squad firing on all cylinders right now, but will he continue to implement his new 3 at the back system, implemented at 1 o'clock last Saturday, or will he revert back to 4 at the back to take on the League One outfit?
And getting the win down at Stevenage was very important for the first away win of the season, and then to back it up, disappointed at the result at Sutton, but then to back it up with another win, it was great. We are going for wins. We set up to get the win, not to sort of be defensive and maybe nick a point away from home. We're trying to win every game. We say, to win the 2 out of the 3 is better than staying unbeaten and winning 1 and drawing 2.
Will Ollie Hawkins stay up front? Can Rhys Oates continue to be the talisman? And will John Joe O'Toole get a Christmas bonus in the form of an extended contract?
It's a very tough position, really, and I do really enjoy it when I play there. And like I say, if I play there again, I'll be happy to. I did actually at one point see myself just playing there the rest of the season, but we have got a lot of quality defenders like you just named, and even some more that have just come back from injury and stuff. So if it's a case where I don't really need to be back there anymore, or it isn't, then I'll be happy to go back up front.
And how much importance do you place on a good FA Cup run, with the Stags having a huge chance to progress and get into the hat for round 3 on Saturday afternoon? Lots of questions, lots of discussions, and a brand new competition. This is the show for the fans, by the fans. Get involved right now on the live feed and have your say on your team. Why? Because Mansfield matters, and this is the Mansfield Matters podcast. Good evening, everyone. I hope that you're all doing all right. Welcome to the Mansfield Matters podcast. It is the show for the fans, by the fans. Why? Because Mansfield always matters. And what amazes me about this podcast is I've got an array of people that can join me on this and to talk all things Mansfield Town. Sometimes I get 1, other times I get 2. But today, I've not got 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. There's 5 of us here. Wave to your cameras. Hello, everyone. Joining me
Hi, everyone.
On this
evening,
talk all things Mansfield Town. In the top left-hand corner of the screen, we've got Xavi L. Hawkins. I might have to take the name captions off, actually, because I know they're really difficult to read. Mr. Nathan Edge, good evening.
Evening, how are we doing?
To the right of me, we've got Cam, the confused stag. More on that later on. Evening, Cam.
Evening.
Below me, we've got Mr. Clive Parkin. How are we?
I'm very well, thank you very much.
And we've also got the super sub, Sir Alan Wilson is in the house. Evening, Al. How are you, mate?
I'm very well, thank you. Craig, how's yourself?
Very, very good. A little bit of housekeeping. So we drafted Mr. Wilson, as we always do, to be a super sub because, A, Cam is never usually available, but for some reason, his uni got, broken into last night or something, Cam?
Yeah, so I go to UCFB, everyone knows.
UCFB friend, we know that. Go on with it.
There's a building called the Study Hub across the road from Piccadilly train station, and that's where my afternoon lecture would be on a Thursday. And it got broken into last night, so it's just been shut all day because CSI have been in there taking fingerprints and doing all this. And yeah, so I spent the day at Meadowhall with my mum instead, and my daughter and my cousin. So I've been to Spoons, done a bit of shopping. It's been quite nice.
What have you got me for Christmas?
You'll have to see.
Oh, at least he's promised something. So we drafted Mr. Wilson for that reason. And then Clive, who's got the Edwin Stowe Elf as his name today, is at Christmas time on Christmas duty, on Chief Elf duty, isn't it, Clive, with the Edwin Stowe Lions?
Yes, I'm one of the National Elf Service. We go around people's houses, knock on doors and demand money off them at Christmas.
But clearly it's an elf day off, so you've managed to make it tonight after all when we thought you weren't. So we've ended up with 5, and I'm never going to turn away the opportunity to have a living legend on the show. And that is not you,
Oh,
Cam.
thanks.
It's Mr. Wilson. So it's great to have you, Al. As always, you guys at home, please feel free to get in touch and have your say on your team. Obviously, we couldn't be with you on Sunday. We did a little thing on Monday. Thanks for responding to that. So we'll have a little reflection on things. But let's start with breaking news, Mr. Wilson, and that is that Doncaster Rovers have dispatched with their manager ahead of Saturday's FA Cup tie.
I know it worried me slightly when I read that, Craig, to be honest, because, the new manager's win syndrome, but let's hope it's not on this Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure it won't be. They're going to be in caretaker charge for that one. Gary McSheffrey, I believe, will be in charge for that one. But it adds a little bit of extra spice to it, doesn't it, Alan? Because it is a very, very big game for both teams. Doncaster struggling in League One, Mansfield on a good little run, not far down the road either. 3,000 plus supporters are going to be there as well.
It's just going to be a superb day out. I'm really looking forward to it, and especially from what Martin Shaw had said about, when they played Crewe in the AFL Trophy, they put a full team out and lost 2-0, and he said they were abysmal.
Yeah, absolutely. Cam, obviously on Saturday, the Stags won at Crawley. Nice little win for them. Great bit of form they're on at the moment. I know you're looking forward to the FA Cup tie as well, aren't you?
Definitely. Firstly, big away game. I think when the cup draw was happening, that's the one game I think I looked out for the most. We could have got Notts County had they made it through their replay. We could have got Chesterfield. It's been all right, but I would rather take a Doncaster team that's really having a bad piece of form. The last time that these won was the Checkatrade Trophy against I can't remember who it was against, or Papa John's, or whatever it's called. And then they also beat Scunthorpe 1-0 as an own goal, but they've not played well since, and they've played teams down near the bottom of League One. So you think, you know what? I think we could do this on Saturday. I believe we can.
We're going to be talking tonight about the importance of an FA Cup run. Nathan, we always talk about, doing well in the other trophy and getting 10 grand in the pot. Prize money and much, much more in the FA Cup. And at this stage, this is the most critical stage of the competition, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of them. If you go out in the first round, you say, it doesn't matter really. You're never going to progress. But when you get through that round and you get to the second round, then you start thinking about the big third round, don't you? And we've actually had two cracking draws for the first two rounds with good away days, basically. So obviously we're taking a great following to Doncaster. So if we can get by them, and like the other guys have said, it's a cracking opportunity. Let's not get carried away, but so it's a great opportunity for us to go out there and maybe get into the hat for the third round. And then you've got that that big possibility of a Premier League side and money in the pot, or anything could happen. Or you could get a side lower down in the leagues, and you still might look to progress again and get progression money as well. So there's a lot of possibilities there. So everyone wants to get to at least the third round, don't they, really?
And Clive, as Roger says in the comments, Donny getting rid of the manager puts a slightly different spin on the game. The Stags still have a great chance of winning, though. And, Nigel Clough loves an FA Cup run. This is an opportunity that we have to take. We can't let those things like a new manager bounce and stuff come into contention at all, can we? We've just got to focus on doing our thing, playing our game.
That's all you can do. You play your own game to the best of your ability. If we play like we have done over the last couple of months now, starting with the first round draw, if you like, up at Sunderland, with nothing to fear. We can play anybody on our day. Let's just hope that it's our day on Saturday.
And that's where the run really starts, isn't it, Alan? When you look back at our fixtures and our turnaround results, getting that win at Sunderland could prove absolutely pivotal to our season, couldn't it?
It was just really good, Craig, because when we got there, we were hoping and praying for a decent result. And they just, to be fair, they played them off the park. It was the last 10 minutes that were a bit of a, we were sweating a little bit when they hit the bar, and it were all gung-ho for them. But, even the Sunderland fans like you, when you did the commentary after, onto the interview bit, even they said that, we were the best team. So it could only onwards and upwards for me. I think we'll give them a really good game.
Still my favourite clip, this from their post-match show.
What an absolute embarrassment.
Yeah,
20th League Two.
Class. You can't buy clips like that. Nathan, I'm going to come to you. Obviously, looking back at that run now, Rhys Oates really is a man we've not talked about a lot. We've spoken a lot about Ollie Hawkins. We'll hear a little bit from him tonight, but I want to talk more about Rhys Oates because he got that goal at Sunderland to spark, the start of this FA Cup run and the start of this run. But he's been a man on fire. He's really settling in now, isn't he?
Yeah, and he started hitting form and stepping up at the point when we really needed him as well. When we started losing, obviously we lost Hawkins going back to centre back anyway, but with Danny Johnson being out injured and things, we really needed him to step up at that point. And we were saying in the weeks leading up to Sunderland actually that you could see his performances improving. He just needed something to maybe get his confidence up and to really kickstart his season. And thankfully, Sunderland ended up being the moment really. And since then, I know he's had a little bit of a time out injured, but when he has played, he's been getting goals and looking a real threat and offering us something very different up there. So. And it's become the Rhys Oates that we all hoped that we'd sign, the player that did so well for Hartlepool last season. So I'm delighted for him as well, because I think he deserves it. And like I said, the main thing is for us, it gives us options, and that's what we needed.
It is something we needed, Cam, isn't it, as well? Having that we changed system on Saturday. We spoke a little bit about it on Monday, but let's delve into it a little bit more now. Getting Ollie Hawkins and Rhys Oates as a partnership. We thought it was going to be Danny Johnson and Ollie Hawkins at the start of the campaign, but the partnership Oates and Hawkins formed on Saturday was very enjoyable to watch indeed.
It was, and I think this is what we were hoping for. I think that the complete polar opposites of players between Oates and Hawkins, the way that they play. Obviously, Hawkins is bigger, stronger, taller. He's got a bit more aerial threat about him, whereas Rhys, yes, he does do well in the air, but he's not there to win a ball. He's better on the floor, chasing after the ball and actually finishing the moves off, where Ollie Hawkins is there to create it. And that second goal was just absolutely sublime at Crawley. Absolutely brilliant. From the pass, the little pass round the corner from George Maris to the outside of the boot, ball down the line for Rhys Oates to run onto from Ollie Hawkins, and then just to finish. It just shows a Mansfield team that's gone confident, and this is something that we've lacked this season for a lot of it. And partially down to the fact that we've been missing players like, obviously, Rhys Oates find a bit of form, but Ollie Hawkins was a bit missing because he had to go back, and then George Maris has been injured, Stephen Quinn got suspended, and it's just been one thing after another this season. But we've now started to get that confidence, but also keep that momentum going and keep that run going, and we've hit form at a real good time. And we were saying at the start of November, if you want to hit form, then this is the time to do it, because you think of the games that you've got over November and December, the Christmas period, and to throw the FA Cup games in there as well. You need the confidence and you need the momentum to carry you through these games, because legs are going to be heavy. It's starting to get colder. The pitches are going to be heavier. The pitches are going to be harder. So it's going to be more difficult. So you need that bit more of a boost to actually get you through the games. And especially coming up on Saturday, I think the crowd's going to be a massive part in that as well. And just the all-round mentality of the team.
You were nodding along quite a lot to that, Clive.
Yeah, occasionally Cam speaks some sense.
Rude.
Which is a very grudging compliment on my part. But no, I think Saturday is about enjoyment as much as anything. And I think Alan alluded to it. We're all looking forward to an occasion as much as the game of football. And I think, 3,000 odd Mansfield fans is going to turn it into a big occasion. So I'm really looking forward to it. I think we can play with a bit of confidence because we've deserved that. We've built that over a period of weeks. And I think there's nobody at this level we should be worried about, least of all a team in the league above that's struggling like fury.
Yeah, let's talk about that, Alan. Obviously, they are struggling at the moment, Doncaster Rovers. They're not doing great. They're 23rd, as Clive says, in League One. Can't win a game for Toffee. They've got rid of their manager today. Is it more about, for you, is it more about the occasion, or is it more about the occasion what could be? Because get through this winnable game, and who knows who we might turn out of the hat in round 3.
I just concentrate on the game first of all, Craig, because, I mean, let's face it, at the end of the day, we've got to get there, irrespective of who we might or might not get in the third round. If we don't do the business on Saturday, albeit, a draw, and then take them back to the one call, we've just got to make sure that we do the business, and then we can all look forward to the third round and the excitement of who we could get, TV rights, etc., etc.
Yeah, certainly. So I think that's another thing to sort of focus on, isn't it, Nate? Something that we maybe get a little bit carried away with, because round two is great for a club of our stature, and especially those in non-league. When the draw is made, I always look and hope we don't draw a non-league team, because if we do, we know that for them it's much more of a bigger occasion than it is for us. So I'm actually really, really pleased with this draw that we've got.
Yeah, I mean, it was the same for the first round, wasn't it? I think with us drawing Sunderland at the point we did, because, it was a big occasion for us as supporters to go to. Obviously, a fantastic stadium for the players to play in. So it made that occasion a big occasion, which probably lifted our game as well. And it's one of those games for us where it was a no-lose, whereas this time's got some similarities in the fact that it's going to be a big occasion, a fantastic following again. Still fuming on missing it. But
are you missing it? You've not mentioned that.
Yeah. I'm not. I'll try not to, because I'm still annoyed. It's slightly different now. Is the fact that you could even probably. I wouldn't be surprised if we actually went in a little bit of favourites on Saturdays by the bookies, just simply down to form. So there's that bit of a spin on it, where there's a little bit more expectation than there certainly were against Sunderland. But it's still going to be a great occasion. And like you say, I mean, just thinking about it now, I mean, I was hoping for really bad weather and it'd be postponed to be moved to Tuesday night and I could go. But that's not going to happen. However, Alan's got me thinking, I want a draw. I'd love a draw. Get us back to the one call. Obviously, we'll know who we're playing by then, or potentially playing. So let's hope it's a good draw. Then we could fill the one call with some sort of ticket deal. That's just all these ideas going around in my head. I'm excited for a draw now. Come on.
No chance. Absolutely no chance.
4-4,
mainly
so
just
it's entertaining.
No, mainly just, well, actually, no, I would actually quite like that, because from a commentary perspective, that would be quite good. But no, we can't have that, because, Cam, we've been bitten once too many times by this, haven't we? I'm thinking in particular of, was it last season where, or the season before, where we could have drawn. We got a draw, and then we could have played Man City. Am I thinking
last
about the right
last season we played Cheltenham, lost in extra time. If we'd have won, we'd have played City in the fourth round.
Yeah, so
refereeing blunder from memory.
Yes, it possibly was, wasn't it? Yeah, it's an interesting one. I don't know whether. I don't know. Would you take a draw, Clive, or do you think it's a winnable game on the day?
I think it's definitely winnable, but if you don't win it, draw it, bring it back to the mill.
I'm just being selfish, really. I just want to be at the game myself. So
it's another game. It's another payday.
Yeah.
It gives some of those fans that couldn't get on Saturday for more legitimate reasons than yours, Nathan, the chance to come and see the game. So, and I do think an evening game under the lights at Mansfield is always a good one anyway.
Yeah.
By the way, Craig, are you commentating on Saturday for Radio Mansfield?
I am indeed, yeah.
Oh, good. Right, okay.
Nate, get yourself in car.
A spare ticket then, is that?
Yes.
Right. Hopefully my dad's not watching. I might be ill tomorrow. So I can't make this wedding thing. But I'll have your ticket. Sorted.
Nathan, if you do take his ticket, I can give you a lift.
No, because I'm not giving my ticket up until my accreditation has come through, and that never comes through until the morning of the game. So
I'll pay you.
No. And no. Alan, I'm going to bring... I knew there was a reason I kept you on this show tonight. I'm going to bring sense back to you, and you're going to bring it back for us. We were talking there a little bit about winning or drawing games. Nigel Clough has sort of said in his interview this week, and he mentioned it a little bit to me after Saturday's game at Crawley as well, about going out to win games. We didn't want to draw the last 3 away games. We wanted to set up and win. He'd rather win 2 out of the last 3 games than go out and just get 3 points from the 3 games.
Yeah, I agree with that, Craig. Definitely, wholeheartedly. Let's go out and win them, and it just breeds confidence all the time, doesn't it? everybody's wanting to go out and win games, and we've got, like we said, we've got nothing to fear. But just on a quick point on the interview, I heard the interview, but did he say, or did I miss something? Did he say anything about whether Johnson would be fit?
I can't remember from the top of my head because obviously we have got Ollie Hawkins missing on Tuesday night through suspension. So I don't know.
Because it was only 3 weeks, weren't it, when he was supposed to be out? And I think that must have elapsed.
Yeah, quite possibly. And of course, we are allowed more subs on Saturday as well.
Yeah.
You're allowed 9, aren't you? And then you can make 5 during the game. So it'd be interesting to see whether Clough does utilise that, given the fact we've got a game
6 if you're extra.
Tuesday night. Yeah, 6 if you're extra, and then you have to play it again. By the way, can we just have a round of applause for all those fans? Was it Bradford they were playing?
Yeah.
All those fans that went down from Bradford to Exeter to replay a game which they really should have been just allowed through. Well done to them. And they probably had to pay for it as well. Yeah, and they probably had to play for it as well. Let's go back to some more.
Interrupt you, Craig. Exeter City actually gave them free tickets for the Bradford fans for that game.
All right, I take my applause back. If you're getting it free, anyone should go. Right, should have taken more, if anything. Right, let's go to some more of your guys' comments. Roger says Donny getting rid of their manager puts a slightly different spin to the game. Stags have got a great chance of winning. Jim says Doncaster certainly hold nothing to fear. They won't relish a pumped up underdog. Roger adds Ollie Hawkins, the Paul Madeley of Stags. What a versatile player he is. Nick says hopefully the team turn up on Saturdays. We quite often don't play well when we've got a good away following. Ryan says hopefully Donny sacking their manager will be a blessing in disguise. Stags chat adds the game will be fantastic with 3,000 plus fans and the form we're on, and Doncaster sacking their manager, also the prospect of a round 3 Premier League team. And Jim says, I've got a spare child's ticket if anyone wants it, no charge. So Nathan, I'm sure your maturity
I could pass for under 16.
Could probably. I mean, you have got a legitimate reason for having that ticket because you can't see what's written on it, so you could technically get away with it.
Yeah, precisely. I'll take that. So I'll just pretend I never heard you say it was a child's ticket. I'm there. I've got 2 tickets now. I'm sorted.
Well, you haven't got 2 tickets because I'm not giving you mine. That's not happening. Let's just get that out there. That is not happening. Oh dear.
I am truly gutted because this is going to be one of them games that it's one of these that doesn't come around so often, does it? So let's just hope that the performance does live up to the occasion and what we are building up to be. But I'm quietly confident it will.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Let's move on. Let's talk a little bit about Ollie Hawkins and his versatility. We'll chat about that in a second. Make sure you get your comments in on that. But before we do, it makes sense to actually hear from the man himself. So let's hear what Ollie Hawkins had to say as he spoke this week to I Follow Stags.
It's a very tough position, really, and I do really enjoy it when I play. And like I say, if I play there again this season, I'll be happy to. I did actually at one point see myself just playing there the rest of the season, but we have got a lot of quality defenders like you just named, and even some more that are just come back from injury and stuff. So if it's a case where I don't really need to be back there anymore, or it isn't, then I'll be happy to go back up front. But yeah, it's a lot of just keeping your eyes open and a lot of talking to the players in front of you. So with them, with Faz and JJ that I've played with mostly, because they're a bit more experienced, it helped me through it. It was a little bit easier, and maybe because I've played up front in the past, I was able to read a few more things just because I knew where the ball might have been coming. So it did all seem like it worked well. I did obviously make a mistake against Sutton, so if I can eradicate them the mistakes, I suppose, then I always said it's probably a position I will look to maybe in the future more often and for a whole season maybe. At the start of the season and obviously the first quarter of the season so far, I suppose, I don't know if we got unlucky, but we always had the sort of players, the morale in training and the capability, but it wasn't coming off on the Saturday. And now, seeing the last 7 games, you've seen that we are able to do it, and some of the results we have dug through to get the wins, and that's what it takes to be a promotion team. And if we can just keep it up, then I can only see us going sort of one way up the table and giving ourselves a real chance back end of the season. Part and parcel of the seasons is people getting injured and coming back and having a whole squad to fill gaps in that. And we do have that. We did go through a little stage where we did have a little bit more injuries and suspensions than we really needed. But now everyone's sort of coming back and we're getting less injuries and things like that. It will just help us out, and give us a chance to be able to sort of push up the league.
Ollie Hawkins speaking to iFollow Stags earlier this week. You can watch the full interview by heading to mansfieldtown.net/iFollow. Joining me tonight to talk all things Mansfield Town, if you missed it earlier, we've got Javier Hawkinso, who is Mr. Nathan Edge, Cam the Confused Stag, Cam Felton, of course, Clive the Edwinstowe Elf, who's wearing a very fetching elf hat at the minute, and of course, the super sub, Sir Alan Wilson. And it's you who I'm going to come to next. We heard there Ollie Hawkins, our talk about playing centre-backs in. It's a very different position. But at one point, he saw himself playing there all season. Interesting that it would probably, reading between the lines, suggest that him and Clough had that discussion about him dropping back there and that being the place for him to play.
It seems that way, but the emergence of O'Toole and Farron Rawson now with the baby, being safely delivered and all that sort of stuff, dropped him back in there. So, it made it an easier decision for Hawkins to go up front. But I think he does like playing there. He seems to, what shall I say, revel in it, shall we say, because, he's a really good player.
I like that word. I might have to add that to my little list of words to get in for Saturday. Cam, I'm going to come to you on that. Obviously, what do you make of it? Do you think that Clough and him had that discussion? And given the fact of his versatility and his Mr. Versatile nickname, which we shall give him now, it's such a key thing to be able to have in your squad, someone that can literally play anywhere. It's the modern day Richie Sutton.
He is. I think it is a good addition to the squad. We were thinking like at the start of the season, oh yeah, he's going to score. He's going to be able to score goals and set them up and this, that and the other. But we kind of just brushed it under the carpet, the fact that he can play centre-back. I think a lot of fans won't have particularly picked up on that. Not that they wouldn't have picked up on it, but not the fact that he probably would play there this season. You'd have thought, right, well, we're going to bring in X, Y and Z player to play at the back. But when we've needed, he's by far been the best player on the pitch. And he's been fantastic and just shows that not every player comes to play for money. And I think that's obviously a massive misconception from Mansfield over the last 2 seasons, I'd probably say. Yes, we've probably spent a little bit more this summer, but I think we've genuinely got a good group of players this year. And I think definitely that Nigel's brought in players that actually want to actually go somewhere and not just play for the name on the back. They're playing for the badge on the front. And it seems that Ollie Hawkins is very much one of those players that has brought into what Clough has said about just being a solid team going forward, trying to just develop on and off the pitch, like on the training pitch, on the actually during the games, and then just steady. He's just got better and better and better somehow. It's just he wasn't a bad player at the start of the season, but he's twice the player he is now than he was back then. And he's just been brilliant. And I think the versatility is down to that. We've seen that he can score goals. We've seen that he can assist goals. We've seen that he can play at centre-back. He's literally what we've been needed, and he's filled in when we've needed him the most.
I have to say, Clive, that one thing which I like about it is I feel more comfortable now knowing that he's in the squad and he's happy to basically play anywhere, because I always have concerns when a player plays out of position that they're just sort of playing there out of necessity and just sort of doing what they're told. But the fact that he's just eager to play and eager to help the team is absolutely phenomenal. And we haven't had a Mr. Mansfield Town since Christian Pearce, in my opinion, and perhaps Jamie Maguire prior to that. Ollie Hawkins could be a contender in terms of being Mr. Versatile and wanting to play for the badge.
Yes, I think anybody that's prepared to play anywhere is asked to play without sulking is a good starting point for Mr. Club. And I think he's demonstrating that in his attitude anyway, and has been all season. I think it also illustrates as well that quite a few new players emerged this summer, and it does take time. A lot of the fans are so impatient. I mean, I'm one of them. You expect people to hit the ground running and be, perfect from day one. It's taken a while for some of these players to knit together, and it's not been aided by the almost uncanny amount of bad luck we've had in terms of injuries and suspensions. So, I think what Mr. Clough has been saying all season is we're better than what we look because the circumstances that we've been playing with it's all come true, hasn't it?
Certainly has. It's a very interesting one to have worked out and everything. So it's nice to see things coming together. And as people have said in the comments, Nath, Stag's Chat made this comment. Players are now coming back, and it's all coming back together to help us up the league. And it couldn't come at a much better time, could it? Because usually our Novembers are absolutely atrocious.
Yeah, let's hope we've got our bad sort of spell of season over and done with and out of the way. And actually, if we continue in the sort of vein of form we are at the moment for a while, then that'll only be a very small blip in the whole season, which is one of the things we were saying. To be patient. We hit a really low point, didn't we, after Northampton, where the manager's head was being called for and all sorts of stuff like that. And we were saying yes, it was frustrating, obviously, and you understood some. The upset out there, but it was also important to be patient and really realize the situation we were in at that time. As Clough said, and like I said, we've got to give him credit. He did, he was talking about certain players coming back. Your Ryan Sturks, for example, and defenders coming back to get Hawkins back up there. All them things have contributed to us becoming a much better side that we know we can be. And just to touch on Ollie Hawkins there, for me, Maka was my player of the season for a while. Then it turned to Quinn. Well, for the minute, Hawkins has taken the lead because I think we've got in our squad. There's 3 players for me that are probably the most consistent and the most important players we've got. One Stephen Quinn, one is Nathan Bishop, and one is absolutely Ollie Hawkins right now. And let's not also forget that obviously Saturday he also took the captain's armband and is one that I wouldn't be upset to see take it permanently.
No, let's get your views on that, Alan, because it leads me nicely on to the other point which I was going to make, which was, of course, Nigel Clough rested captain Ollie Clark on Saturday to protect him and George Marish for the same reason, because they were both on 4 bookings. Ryan Sturk came in, George Lapsley came in as well, and both did a good job. Ollie Hawkins took the armband. Wouldn't surprise me at all to see him name exactly the same starting lineup on Saturday afternoon, leaving Clark and Marish out.
I know that's the one thing that surprised me when I read the team on Saturday and saw that Marius and Clark were both missing. I was a bit weary, a bit edgy. But I mean, the pudding was in the eating. They got the 3 points, and I think he gave Ollie Hawkins the armband because it, like you say, is Mr. Versatile. He'll play anywhere. He's done everything he's asked of him. And I mean, what's one more accolade, to put the band on and make him even better?
What made me laugh, it was almost the all-round performance, because Nigel Clough said, we put him up front, so he didn't get booked. Then he got booked and ended up getting suspended. Goal, assist, captain, great performance. Lets himself down by getting booked and suspended for the next game. Let's have a look at some more of your comments. Roger says, Hawkins does solidify things. And William says, I think this year is about solidifying the team more and more, create more consistent play. The next season, push for promotion. If we went up this year, I'm not convinced we would stay up the following season. Yeah, it is all about a long-term building project and sort of seeing where we're going, which I think we sort of expected at the start of the campaign. One player I do want to talk about, Cam, a little bit is Ryan Sturk. He's really sort of come into his own over the last couple of games since he's got back from his injury, and it will be interesting to see how he keeps progressing, because he was very much heavily involved and not perhaps mentioned as much on Saturday, but he was heavily involved with pretty much everything, running things alongside Quinn in the centre of the park.
And yeah, obviously, I think Nigel said many times throughout his press conferences this season that when Ryan Sturk comes in, it will be a big part of the team. He obviously sees something in him, and we're now seeing what he can actually bring to the team. And it's just, for such a young player, he's got such a good head on him, and just the ball played in for that first goal was just absolutely fantastic. You would not expect that from such a young player. He's timed it perfectly. Right amount of weight, right amount of power. He's put it in the right place, and all Ollie Hawkins had to do was just tap it into the back of the net. He had the easy bit, but it was just absolutely unreal. And I think we're now really starting to see what Clough has seen in him. And let's just hope that firstly he can stay fit, because that's been a big issue for us this season. Players staying fit and players staying injury free. So going forward, I think it's just keep him in the squad. I don't really see a reason to drop him. I think he did a fantastic job. I think whilst, yes, we have got obviously like your Ollie Clark on the bench, I still believe that Ryan Stirk can add just something to the team that maybe Clark can't, and it's just that cutting edge pass that Stirk seems to have at the minute.
It all comes down to system a little bit for me, Alan, because we've played pretty much with that 4. We've never really thought about a 3, but actually, like you mentioned earlier, and credit to you for mentioning it, since O'Toole's arrival, that's given us not just the experience which we were lacking, but it's given us so many more options which we perhaps might not have thought about before. And if we can keep utilising them like we utilised them at Crawley, then I think we'll win more games than we lose.
I was a bit sceptical about when O'Toole came, because of his age. He hadn't played for 6 months. He's been to various other clubs and whatever. But it did ring true about Stevenage really wanted him, but obviously for whatever reason they couldn't get him. But it's been a revelation, hasn't he? He's played really well and has allowed the other people, when they've come back in, to just slot in nicely. And I think as remarking about Stirk, if ever Quinn goes off, Stirk drops into that left-hand side nicely in front of Player of the Month, Macca.
Yeah, absolutely. Nathan, let's come to you on that one. Stephen McLaughlin named Player of the Month. You didn't mention him earlier in your sort of top 3, and I'm very, very, very surprised because we know you love him.
Well, I did mention him briefly before when I said he was my player of the season for a while, but it surprised me, to be fair, and I don't mean this in a bad way. I just think he's been consistent the last month, but he's probably better the couple of months leading up to that. He's just doing a nice job at the moment. I know he got an assist, didn't he, the other day, the other week, which has probably got the attention of the whoever chooses the AFL awards and so on. But I think he's still doing a good job and he's been reliable. But I think he has been better, before this month. But as I've said, I've held my hands up this season and said, for me, he's been one of my favourite players, which is an absolute complete contrast, isn't it, to last season where he was the man I was trying to chuck off a cliff, not Ollie Clark.
No, well, you had to go and bloody say it, didn't you?
He's done it. He's listened.
No.
Ollie Clark is currently is he falling down that cliff right now?
No. Oh, for God's sake.
No.
These are the views of Nathan Edge and not those of Mansfield Matters. Jesus Christ, Nathan. Alan, are you fixed for a permanent spot? Because I think there might be one coming available soon.
Yeah. I'm going to be pushed out eventually.
He knows I love him, really. It's all good.
So someone's going to try and not kill me off.
Why?
Well, I mean, it seems that my dad's disowned me in the comments.
Yeah, I agree with him.
Yeah,
well.
we all know why. Yeah, we all know why. Let's do it. I mean, firstly, I want to play. Right, so I want to bring some context. First and foremost, this week, Cam, when we put on about doing the podcast, said, "Oh, I'm available." All of a sudden, I'm available. And Nathan came up with a jolly good chance of saying, in fact, now of saying he only pods when we win it. Cam said, "Turn this into a sound clip and play it when I rock up." And then Clive did this.
Pods when we're winning. Cam only pods when we're winning. Pods when we're winning. Cam only pods when we're winning.
Now, there's a couple of things that I want to pick up on that. At the end of that, Clive, it sounded like you said pods when we're women.
Well, isn't that exactly what he's now doing professionally?
Well,
that's a very good point. So, obviously, those of you who are long-time followers of Mansfield Matters will know that Cam has followed me around everywhere. He has been known to sleep in a bush outside my house at one point, and I've managed to get him a little gig. He's no longer going to be at Huddersfield Ladies on a Sunday. This is why he's never around on a Sunday, because he does something for his uni work. You're going to be where, Cam?
Head of media for Chesterfield Women FC.
And you've gone all out to try and prove that you're still a stag by having a stag in front of your laptop. You've got your Stag shirt on. You've got one in the background trying to outdo us all.
Overdoing it.
Oh dear, I
You've got
don't know.
someone to hide. You're
Yeah.
overdoing it.
I mean,
sheep.
I think we'll let him off by virtue of the fact that it is the women's game. If it was to do with men's football, then we would completely disown you. But we will keep you around for now. Let's go back to some of the comments. Oh yeah, and your dad's just booed you in the comments. I agree. Let's go back to some of the comments. Lee says we will make the playoffs. Then it's all about the lottery of them, and the luck we do or don't get in those potential 3 extra games. Stranger things have happened. Richard says keeping Quinn, Bishop, Hawkins and Oates fit will be the key to our season. And he also says, I want to get your views on this one, Clive. Let's enjoy Saturday, but I'd rather beat Carlisle and Salford, Cam's other team.
For God's sake.
I think Richard's spot on. I think we're going to enjoy Saturday, and I'll enjoy the game and I'll enjoy the event. But he's quite right. There's nothing beats the satisfaction at this stage in our career, in our season, to get 3 points from these 2 next League 2 games, because that will just accelerate us up into that area we're all wanting to get into, which is vying for playoffs.
Yeah, of course, because at the minute, you look at the league table, we've got 6 wins on the board. We're in great form at the minute, of course, but we are still at a mid-table, 23 points, 15th place at the minute. We're, 7 points off the playoffs, but also probably about the same off the drop zone. It only takes one bad result to shake things up again, doesn't it? So whilst it would be nice and great for us to get through to round 3, obviously the focus is more on Tuesday night. And that's why I said at the top of the show, it'd be interesting to see how many of the subs that Nigel Clough does utilise, because you can name 9, use 5.
I'm going to say, I totally agree with Richard Dennett, but why can't we do all 3, Craig?
Yeah.
Let's win Saturday, and that'll give us the push and the confidence to win Tuesday and the following Saturday.
It is the season of goodwill and all that as well. So why not? On the whatever day of Christmas it is, all I want is 3 hours trying to come up with a Christmas line. It didn't work. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to think about it, and whilst we do, let's hear from the man who's tasked with putting it all together. That, of course, is Nigel Clough. He's been speaking to I Follow Stags. Keep your comments coming in.
And getting the win down at Stevenage was very important for the first away win of the season, and then to back it up, disappointed with the result at Sutton, but then to back it up with another win, it was great. We are going for wins. We set up to get the win, not to sort of be defensive and maybe nick a point away from home. We're trying to win every game. We say, to win the 2 out of the 3 is better than staying unbeaten and, winning 1, drawing 2. I think they're much better at home than they are away from home. If you look at the record, struggled away from home, but on their own patch, they're not too bad. So we're still playing a team from a league above with better players. Following is going to be absolutely key. Wonderful the amount of tickets we've sold, and it's a break from the league, and we look forward to it. Gives everybody, we've been talking about in training last week, that we'd sold sort of 2,500, going on to 3. So to sell out is brilliant. That's why it was such a good draw. Next to being at home, we said it was one of the closest. I think that's shows with the amount of fans we're taking, which is great for them. I hope it's a bit warmer than it was at Crawley on Saturday for them, and certainly a bit closer for everybody to get to. I think the second rounds for lower league clubs is very exciting because of what it can bring. And to get a draw against a higher club after the win at Sunderland, let's go and have a go. That's it. We want one of them at our place if possible. We've had a lot of away draws. I think we talked before the other when the draw was made. I forgot about the Dagenham one. We said we'd had 4 or 5 away draws on the spin. I forgot about the Dagenham one that we'd had at home in between. But it was quite a largely forgettable game rather than the last minute. So we're due a home draw if we can get through. And if we can get a replay and get them back to our place, that would be brilliant as well.
That's a very hoarse-sounding Nigel Clough speaking to I Follow Stags earlier this week. You can watch that in full by heading to mansfieldtown.net/ifollow. A couple of things to pick up from in there, Alan, and one of which is Nigel Clough sort of talking about the FA Cup run of last year. You were present in the ground out of all of us last year in that that infamous game when Aidan Stone, the goalkeeper, was brought on for a penalty shootout and ended up inadvertently helping to set up the winning goal. We'd love a little bit more drama like that, wouldn't we? That's what all the FA Cup's about, isn't it?
Oh, it'd be brilliant. Yeah, I'd take that. I'd take that on Saturday. A 1-0 win or whatever it was. There'd be no problem this end. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it, even though I was the only one in the ground and, nobody on my box alleyway, as it were. But I did enjoy chatting to the substitutes. And what's his name? Marek Steck is a very nice gentleman.
There we go.
Polite.
Absolutely. Who knows? He might, because we might be a little bit short on players, he might get on the bench on Saturday. You never know. I don't see him going with two goalkeepers there. But stranger things have happened. Nath, goalkeepers have played outfield before, or it's been good fun.
It's well, FA Cups, you never know. I mean, you wouldn't have put it past us a couple of weeks ago. Oh, well, a couple of months ago, would you, when we were struggling for players? So we were saying at one point maybe Marek Steck would come on in defence when we were short on players. But no, I don't think we'll see him this season. But yeah, I think what Clough was saying there, like we said a little bit earlier, round 2, it's one of those it's a big game for teams at our level because you've got that carrot at the next of round 3. So. Let's enjoy it, but like Darren says in the comments, there's no reason why we can't win them all. So let's just go out there game by game and go for it.
Wait, I've got a question, and this is a question which the Benefits Office might ask as well. How the bloody hell do you know that's been said?
We went for this the other week. On our streaming thing, we've obviously got the chat up on it. It's basically a screen reader can read it.
Oh, right, thank you.
That's the easiest way of explaining it.
I forgot. Sorry, I forgot. I thought for a minute that you were just conning us all, and we'd finally caught you out after all these years. But...
Not yet. I'm covering my my tracks well. I mean, no, I'm.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Darren is right though, Cam. We are more than capable of winning another 5 on the bounce, aren't we?
You'd hope so. I think we've got the confidence at the minute, and yes, it was disappointing at Sutton, but there were moments in that Sutton game where you're thinking, for God's sake, we should score here. So especially Sutton are on a decent run as well, so I can't really complain about that one. Yes, it's disappointing. Probably should have maybe at least got a draw, but we more than prove that we've turned that corner with decent wins over the last 7 games. So we've just got to carry it on, really. Like we keep saying, there is the carrot of the third round. There is the fact that we could get a big team, and after last season, you'd hope maybe that we could get a big team, get them at home. And there's always that bit more of an incentive when it comes to the second round, knowing that you are literally 90 minutes away from playing some of the best players in the world. As that excites you as a fan, but I think as players, I think that motivates them even more, because I think, like Ollie Hawkins said, he's never played against any like of the big 6, big 5. So obviously the players do also want to play against the big teams as well. So go out, put a performance in, and let's hope that we can make it 7 wins in 8 games.
Mech it. That's why he's gone to Chesterfield, ladies. Mech it. Common as muck. Alan, one of the things which we've not really touched upon is the fact that we're not even back to full strength yet. We've still got players to come back. Danny Johnson, the last time we saw him, he was heading off the pitch with a ball under his arm after scoring a hat-trick in the Newcastle under-23 games or whatever it was, and it's he's still to come back. Jordan Bowery knocking on the door as well. Got other players there as well. So we're not even back up to full strength yet, and that's quite an exciting thing to have.
It is when you look at the substitute bench and you've got people like Ollie Clark, Marius, possibly Johnson coming back, Tyrese Sinclair. It only bodes well for the future. It's really good to see, because sometimes you can have a really good squad or team on the pitch, and when you look at the subs, you think, maybe 1 or 2 could change it. But, there's 4, 5, possibly 6 there, and it's all good for Saturday as well, in the FA Cup, if we need to use them.
Yeah, and like Nathan, you just said there, Kel Gordon as well.
Yeah.
He's not answering me. He's ignored me.
Me? I said
yeah. I just said.
Yeah, no, I did. Yeah, who's a blind one here? It's Craig, not me. It's Craig.
I think you're. No, I just think you're the deaf one as well. Standard.
But jokes. Kel Gordon coming back again. He's another player that, although Hewitt's doing superbly well on that right hand side, and he would certainly be ahead of Gordon at the moment, but he's just a different type of player, isn't he? That can come on and change game where needed. So I'm pretty sure he's not far off, is he?
This new system, mate, of having wing backs in, that's where Kel Gordon's going to thrive as well, isn't it?
Yeah, Absolutely. So I'm pretty sure it wasn't long ago since Clough said he's not that far off from returning as well. So when he did come back, didn't he, briefly, and then he went back out injured again. So hopefully it's only a small sort of hiccup and he'll be back in contention. But exactly as Alan said there, you look at the subs bench and it week by week it is getting stronger. You've got Richard Narty as well. Like, yes, we haven't seen much of him, and what we have seen isn't the greatest. But again, players take time to settle in, and he could become a good player. So another good player to have on the bench when he's available. So
prime example, to cut you off, is Will Forrester, who made his full debut on Saturday, Cam, and looked relatively solid there in that back three, and we didn't think he'd be up to anything, considering he arrived injured and then got injured again and then got injured again.
Yeah, I would say it's been a disappointing start for him. Obviously, he's highly rated at Stoke, and things haven't quite worked out for him. He's got a couple of games under his belt there at Championship level. He's come out on loan. I'd probably say he's just been a bit unlucky with coming to us. Obviously, being injured is not really anything you can do about it. It's not like he's done anything stupid. He's just played and he's got injured. It's one of them things, isn't it? But I think knowing that he's built his strength back up, and while he's been injured, he has been with us, obviously not for the first chunk of being injured, but he's coming to the squad. Yes, he got injured again, but he's built that back up, and he was still in and around the squad. So when his chance did come, he was near enough up to speed with the rest of the team. And I think that's probably the biggest boost, that him coming back from injuries, that he's ready and raring to go. He knows what the team need. He knows where they need to improve. He's seen on the sidelines where we're falling short, and hopefully he can add to that and provide some solidity at the back.
Were you trying to say solidify then? Were you trying to slip that in?
He needs to solidify the rest of the defence.
Shocking. That's a half-arsed bellring, that, because you got it. You absolutely cocked it up the first time round. But what would you expect for someone that works for Chesterfield, albeit ladies? There you go. Clive's showing off his new hat. Yeah, you'll get Alan's dog barking again. I've got a question for you, Mr. Wilson. Have you got him a doggy advent calendar?
Yes.
Good man. I knew I could rely on you. Back in the oh no, it's fascinating. It's the same one I've got, Harry, as well. Look at that. It's like we're on
same dogs, aren't they? The collies.
Absolutely. Let's go to some more of your comments before we wrap things up for tonight. Richard says, Forest in the third round or top 6 Prem club if we win. Yeah, we've got to win first. He says, however, the fact we're discussing the lineup speaks volumes of the squad depth. Nick says, was surprised to see Nathan Kane go out on loan. He's always looked a good player when I've seen him play. I think, again, that probably highlights the fact that we've got other options in there now in terms of Danny Johnson coming back, Hawkins able to go back up top, and having more options at the back as well. Roger says, Stags will be galvanised on Saturday. He knows all the buzzwords.
Stags chat good books to get points on podcast prediction. I know what Roger's at here. I'm on to him.
Yeah, don't worry. It's not going to happen. It's just got to get the predictions right. Stags Chat says, Sinclair, I think he should get a start. He always changes the tempo of the game when he comes on as a sub. Sometimes nearly scores soon after he comes on. And Darren says, can't be there on Saturday due to COVID, but my heart will be with the blue and yellow army. Well, Darren, get yourself round a radio set if you're in Mansfield and listen to Mansfield 103.2 on FM to get yourself some more of it. Nigel Clough has certainly shuffled the pack. He's got his hands in the biscuit barrel and certainly looked for some fresh ideas this afternoon as he makes 4 changes to the side which lost at Sutton in midweek. Out go Ollie Clark, George Maris, Harry Charlesley and Jordan Bowery. In come Farron Rawson, Will Forrester, George Lapsley, and there's a return for Rhys Oates. It will be Crawley that get us underway here. They will go from right to left. Mansfield Town go from left to right. The referee takes a look at the watch, and this afternoon's Sky Bet League 2 action can get underway. Can Mansfield Town get 3 points here at the People's Pension Stadium? We're underway. O'Toole goes across to his centre-half partner, Forrester, who plays the ball forward for Stirk, who's been excellent in that role so far tonight, and he sprays the ball to this right-hand side for Elliot Hewitt. It's a beautiful ball. Hewitt cuts back inside, plays the advancing Stirk back in space. Stirk clips the ball back in towards the middle. Hawkins towards goal. It's turned in, and Mansfield Town have the lead. 24 minutes in, Ryan Stirk delivery into the area is met by Ollie Hawkins, who taps it into the goal. Nichols again on the ball, gives it back to George Frankham. Frankham with the ball forward. It's cleared by Stirk, who drops into centre half just for a second there. Crawley have it back again and are pushing forward on the edge of the Mansfield box. There's an opportunity for a shot here from distance. They do shoot from distance and they score. Crawley are back in the game on 47 minutes. It's James Tilley who gets it, the number 14, who makes it 1-1 on 47 minutes. Mansfield didn't deal with that goal on 47 minutes. The absolute wonder strike from James Tilley has really taken the wins from the Mansfield Town wings. Here's Maris, introduced moments ago, finds Ollie Hawkins on the left-hand side. Good right-foot ball with the outside of his boots to Reeks Oates. Oates shoots, and Oates will put the ball into the back of the net. Reeks Oates stands, throws his arms wide in front of the Mansfield Town support, and he puts Mansfield Town back into the lead on 73 minutes. It's Reeks Oates who makes it Crawley Town 1, Mansfield Town 2. Now here's Tyreek Sinclair driving forward. Sinclair inside the box with a chance to make it 3. He's put it wide. That's a guilty miss from Tyreek Sinclair. Nigel Clough turns his back in absolute disgust as Tyreek Sinclair won the ball. Inside the box it went, and he put it wide of the target. All he had to do, he had the keeper beaten, was tuck it inside the post. He puts it into the side netting, and with the resulting goal kick, with Nigel Clough in absolute fume mode, Crawley have the ball again. And if Crawley get back into this game now with the 3 minutes of additional time that are remaining here, well, I wouldn't want to be Tyree Sinclair. I wouldn't want to be in his boots. It's Crawley who have the throw in line with the edge of the Stags box. They've taken it short. Ollie Clark trying to battle with it and win the ball back for the Stags. The Stags fans loud as you like as they try and cheer their boys to victory. Crawley pumped the ball in towards the Stags box, up towards the Pyre. Mansfield needs to win this. Forrester gets it away, not quite far enough for Pyre, tries to get it back. It might fall for Nichols. It's inside the box, it's a low ball into the middle, and Nathan Bishop throws himself onto the ball and kills the danger. Mansfield fans will be screaming behind that goal down that far side. Stirk launched it in towards the air. Sinclair is chasing. Flag is up for offside. Crawley will probably play on here. No, the referee stopped it and will allow a free kick. This is the last seconds of the action here at the People's Pension Stadium. It's in Mansfield's box. It's got to be dealt with, and the referee has blown the full-time whistle, and Mansfield Town gets 3 big points here at the People's Pension Stadium. And what a feeling it is to say these words. Crawley Town 1, Mansfield Town 2. That the story of last Saturday afternoon at Crawley. More of the
Who
same
was
on
that?
Mansfield 103.2 on Saturday from 1 o'clock on Sportsbeat. Lee Wilson will join me for analysis and commentary, full match commentary, if you can't make it to that one. Right, that's almost all we've got time for. In answer to your question, Clive, this guy, me. More
Craig, I've got a word you've got to slip in.
Yeah, I'm going to come to that. No, it's in here, mate. There's an agenda to this show. I've got it. Don't worry. I've got it. I'm going to come round to it in a second. I'm going to come to it in a minute, I promise you. But first, we've got to do the competition because it is Christmas time and it is time for another competition. We all have Mansfield Matters mugs, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Somewhere.
Yeah, well, don't worry, Nate. We will give you one eventually to give to your brother who won about 4 months back on the competition. First, though, let's go over to Craig of VoiceOver Past for details of the brand new Mansfield Matters competition. Oh, I knew it'd do that. I knew it would. Let me try again. It's the season of goodwill, and here at Mansfield Matters HQ, we're going to be giving away a maximum of 12 mugs. All right, less of a festive tie-in and more of me needing space in my car boot. Anyway, starting on Saturday, we'll be posting an anagram of a former player or manager on our social media pages, and all you have to do is work out who it is. We'll keep note of who's entered and put those names into a mug, and then draw out 12 people who will each win, yes, you guessed it, a mug! As ever, there's a few rules. You can enter all 12 days and give yourself 12 chances to win, but you can only enter each day once. The first answer you give on a post, we will take that one. You can enter in the following ways. You can comment on each daily post, however you do run the risk of giving others the correct answer, but hey ho, it's only a bit of fun. You can send us a direct message on that particular day with the correct answer, Or keep notes of all the anagrams and use the Google form link, which we'll make live on day 12, to send us all of your answers. It couldn't be more simple, although I know that you, Nathan, Cam, Clive, and the rest of you guys will find a loophole that I've not thought of and try and exploit it. Enjoy and shammy stirrers from us all at Flame Sin Set Tram. That's Merry Christmas from us all at Mansfield Matters. Right,
Mugs.
Come at me.
Somebody's got too much time on their hands.
What's wrong with
That's
that?
quite good, actually.
Love the jingle.
I know. I think
Very
it's
nice.
Christmassy.
I know. I think it's a great conversation. What do you think, Alan? I mean, of all the people on this panel, I feel like you're the safest bet to go to that won't slag me off. So I'm going to go to you.
It was very good, Craig. Excellent.
Thank you.
Hey.
Alan, we had a bit of a play around with writing some anagrams during the week, and the best one I thought, and I did it, was for Cam, because an anagram of Cameron Felton is Teflon Romance.
What was crazy again? Because that was a cracker.
That's
wasn't
quality,
it?
that, Clive. Quality.
Can't remember.
What was
Craig's?
Craig's? It was brilliant, wasn't it?
I've written it
I'll
down
have to find it
somewhere.
anyway.
We'll find it.
Cam's looking for it. Whilst Cam looks for it, let me
I've got it.
Go on.
Erratic pigs.
All right, I'll take that.
And Nathan was hanged neat.
And what was Alan?
Alan Wilson.
No nail laws.
No nail laws.
Clive's was vile pink car. No,
I'm making no comment whatsoever. So just to clarify, you can enter all 12 days and give yourself 12 chances to win, but you can only enter each day once. Is that clear enough so far?
Yes.
I've got a follow-up question.
Yeah, well, I'll come to that in a second. The first answer you give on a post will be the one we take. So, for example, Cam sees Randy ones and comments with Reese Oates, and that'd be wrong because it's Danny Rose. But he's already written Reese Oates, so he can't have it. It's too late. He's wrong, and he's not in the draw for that day. Easy. Right, come on, Nathan. Come at me. Let's go.
So, if somebody enters every day, can they win 12?
Yes. No.
That's it. You don't know the answer.
Right, no, you confused me with the question. Ask the question again.
So if they enter all 12 days, can they win 12 mugs, or is it?
No, they can't win 12
different to
mugs.
win?
They get 12 chances. So the more correct answers you give, the more chance you have of winning a mug.
Good. I just wanted to clarify that because we know it could be up for exploitation. I'm just trying to protect you.
No, there's no exploitation at all here. I think this is pretty much nailed on. I don't think this can go wrong at all.
Leave it
See,
to
Craig,
Roger.
we're not doing this to criticise you. We're doing this to protect you because you've got a track record of having loose ends on your competitions. And we're trying to protect you from that.
I think this was well thought. I've even written it out. Look, it's even a script written out. This is not out of my head. This is properly written out. So
the problem is you've done it.
Alan, do you want a full-time position on this podcast? Because I think we're about to lose Clive.
They only tried to help you out, Craig.
That's very true.
Just to add one more rule into the game, if you do receive a Mansfield Matters mug, send a personal message to Mr. Clive to say thank you.
Yes, please do that. Personal messages and thanks are all great. Mugs. Merry Christmas, everybody. Right, we'll be launching that on from Saturday afternoon. That's pretty much all we've got time for. Obviously, no podcast predictions on Saturday's game because it is, of course, an FA Cup game. We don't do FA Cup games for podcast predictions. That is purely a league thing. However, we do have a game on Tuesday night at home to Carlisle. And I have to say, unfortunately, there will be no Sunday sermon on Sunday because remember last year when we were all in lockdown and everybody booked a load of tickets to go and see some stuff? Well, one of those things which I booked is happening on Sunday, so I can't do the Sunday sermon on Sunday. So that's not happening on Sunday. So with that in mind, I'll try and schedule something in on Monday, but it might not happen. So in case it doesn't... Monday matters and all that. Monday Mansfield, I don't know, we'll come up with something. But just in case we don't get to do this, it's time to do podcast predictions. Clive, you are still top of the leaderboard. So for Carlisle, please, you can go first.
Is this one
2-0? Oaks and Lapsley.
Very efficient. Alan, as the guest, you can go next.
3-1, Clark, Lapsley and Oates.
Okay. Cam, you're looking very festive down there. Give me yours.
3-1. Rawson.
Ooh.
Hawkins. No, why have I said Hawkins?
Hawkins is not playing.
Too late.
It's happening. It's in. Next. Sorry, Alan. I've just made your dog bark. Sorry. Okay. Maybe third and final goal scorer. Even the dog's
Cam's still
laughing at you.
whining.
Oh, for God's sake.
on.
Oates. For
There you
God's
go.
sake.
You idiot. You should have
I
listened.
forgot what day it is.
You've said it. You've said it now. I will go for... I fancy us to get a clean sheet, but I also fancy us to actually give someone a hammering. So I'm going to go with I'm going to be brave. I'm going to say 4-0. I'm going to say a 4-0 win. And I'm going to go for Reece Oates twice. And I'm going to go with John Joe O'Toole. And I will go with a screamer from Ryan Stirk. So there you go. If you want to play along with podcast predictions...
Do I not get an entry?
Oh, I've missed you out, haven't I?
He's that worried about me catching him and getting away from him in this
I rest
game.
my case here.
I know, this just said it all, doesn't it?
Look, I can make it all of this negativity towards Craig go away by playing this. Oh, got to...
That worries me tremendously.
And this. See, everyone's happy now. Anyway, right, come on, Nathan, give me yours. Go on.
3-0 victory. Goal scorers. Player of the month, Stephen McLaughlin. Reece Oates. And finally a goal for George Lapsley.
There we go. You've changed Lapsley. Every week you've been saying finally a goal for Harry Charlton. He's now dropped in place of George Lapsley. So you've gone with him. If you want to play podcast predictions, the link is in the description. Make sure you get your prediction in by when, Nathan Edge?
By 1 hour before. Well, 1 hour and 1 minute before kickoff.
Absolutely. So that will be 6:44.
Yeah.
That's why I said 1 hour and 1 minute, because I couldn't be bothered to do the math.
Yeah. 6:44-ish. It is time-stamped. And remember, Roger, this is particular for you. One entry. If you enter again, doesn't count. And like we've done with Cam, what you say first counts. So if you want to get involved, make sure you click the link in the description. Comments on Facebook posts, Twitter, etc. will not count. You have to enter through the link. That's pretty much all we've got time for. Gentlemen, thank you very much for getting involved. Finally, I'll go around you all. What are you hoping to see the Stags do on Saturday at Doncaster? You wanting to see us play the same formation, go back to where we were, bring Ollie Clark, George Maris back in, etc. What are you wanting to see from Nigel Clough on Saturday? Alan, I'm going to start with you.
Same team, same performance. Doncaster 0, Mansfield 2.
Cam Felton.
Good performance. Yeah.
Simple as that. You'd expect nothing more from a spy, right? Javiella Hawkinson.
I want a cracking performance, a high-scoring game, and a replay back at the One Call. Thank you.
So you can go. And Clive, the Chief Elf, what about yourself?
Just one word, and you can use it in your commo. Consolidation.
That's what I forgot to do at the end. Again, Clive, you've saved the show. Last week, I couldn't be bothered to clip it all out because it was different parts of the show, but I'm going to try and get it all in one link this time. I want key commentary words, please, to play bingo. Clive, yours was, again, remind me?
Consolidation.
I thought you had a different word earlier. Revel or something like that. I don't know.
Reveling.
It wasn't my words. I think Alan said reveling in it.
Mr. Wilson.
This is a beauty for you, Craig. Get this one in. Salubrious.
Ooh.
Get your dictionary out first.
What does it mean, Alan?
I can't even bloody spell it. So, salubrious, right? What does it mean? I'm going to have to Google that.
Basically, it's good. You're good at something, or it's very good.
Oh,
All right.
you know.
I'm going to have a salubrious cup of tea in a minute.
What's that winner in, Craig?
Oh, that was salubrious. All right, fair enough. Right. Go on then, Cam. Come on, Cam. You spell right.
Swaztec.
Swaztec. How the bloody hell?
You bloody idiot.
Craig will get the reference.
Yeah, it's Swaztec, isn't it? From the stupid YouTubers. That's a ridiculous word from you. I might get a dog bark in there as well, because I think that's what your dog's trying to tell me, Alan, to try and get. What about? I'll tell you what. I'll get a woof reference in.
I mean, to be fair, it's the end of the show. It does always get a bit rough around the edges.
No. Would have been a better joke, Cam, if you'd have said woof round the edges. But there you go. Nathan, come on, give me your word, and it can't be galvanised, solidified, or toxicity, because I've done that every single one. Re-energized. I like it. Ooh. If you want to send me one, follow us on Twitter or on MTFC Matters on Facebook as well. We'll try and get it in.
You need to do some actual commentary, not just sit there for 90 minutes for saying all these words if you get everyone else to do.
Craig, I will. Craig, let's step this up a bit. All those words you've got to slip into one sentence.
Ooh. I mean,
salubrious Quastec or whatever it is. I've no idea what that'll be.
I might have to do that. I might have to do that in my final game before.
Salubrious Quastec.
I might have to do that in my final game before I hand it back to Steve-O, to be honest, and go out in a blaze of glory. But there you go. Boys, thank you very, very much for getting involved. Let's hope on Saturday for less of this.
Mansfield have nicked it away, and Hawkins can try and clear this. He goes long direction looking for Reece Oates. It's Oates up against Tony Craig, and Oates has won it to the right of the box. The keeper's backpedaling. Here's Reece Oates, needs to get the ball out of his feet. Reece Oates will find Lapsley. Lapsley goes for Hewitt, and Hewitt skews the ball over the top of the stand into the car park where my car is parked, and if my windscreen is smashed, there'll be a bill going Elliot Hewitt's way.
And more of this.
Here's Maris, finds Ollie Hawkins on the left-hand side. Good right-foot ball with the outside of his boots to Reece Oates. Oates shoots, and Oates will put the ball into the back of the net. Reece Oates stands, throws his arms wide in front of the Mansfield Town support, and he puts Mansfield Town back into the lead.
Mansfield have won.
My thanks, as always, to all of you guys in the comments for getting involved, and of course to my top team, a full house tonight. Clive Parkin, Nathan Edge, Cam Felton, and of course Sir Alan Wilson. Can Mansfield Town progress to round 3 of the FA Cup as they take on League One strugglers Doncaster Rovers? If you're doing a Nathan Edge and have got something more pressing on, make sure you join me on Mansfield 103.2. It's on FM only for full match commentary. Build-up starts from 1 o'clock. Join us again next week as well as we look back on that Doncaster game. We'll try and get on Monday. If not, we'll be on Wednesday after the Carlisle game as well. Lots and lots coming up for Mansfield Town over the next week or so. It's going to be a busy one, and let's hope that it's a winning one. This is the show for the fans, by the fans. Why? Because Mansfield always matters. Until next time, have a great remainder of your week. Come on, you Stag. It's the season of goodwill, and here at Mansfield Matters HQ, we're going to be giving away a maximum of 12 mugs. Alright, less of a festive tie-in and more of me needing space in my car boot. Anyway, starting on Saturday, we'll be posting an anagram of a former player or manager on our social media pages, and all you have to do is work out who it is. We'll keep note of who's entered and put those names into a mug, and then draw out 12 people who will each win, yes, you guessed it, a mug! As ever, there's a few rules. You can enter all 12 days and give yourself 12 chances to win, but you can only enter each day once. The first answer you give on a post, we will take that one. You can enter in the following ways. You can comment on each daily post, however you do run the risk of giving others the correct answer, but hey ho, it's only a bit of fun. You can send us a direct message on that particular day with the correct answer, or keep notes of all the anagrams and use the Google form link which we'll make live on day 12 to send us all of your answers. It couldn't be more simple, although I know that you, Nathan, Cam, Clive, and the rest of you guys will find a loophole that I've not thought of and try and exploit it. Enjoy and shammy stirrers from us all at Flame Sin Set Tram. That's Merry Christmas from us all at Mansfield Matters. Mugs.